Hey, what's up guys? Trevor here, and I wanted to do a little update today on what I got done in the afternoon. Now, just for your information, I usually work twice a day. Actually, I take that back, 3 times a day. One time in the morning for about 3 to 4 hours, and then in the afternoon for another 3 or so hours. And then I work at night for about another 3 to 4 hours. So my usual day is like somewhere between 8 and 9 hours, or like 12 and 13, maybe 14 at the most, if I'm working on a project I'm really passionate about. So that just kind of goes to show, like, when you're an entrepreneur, you're willing to work way more hours than you normally would on like in a day job or something like that, or even if you were, being paid salary or on commission as a salesman. And just because you're more passionate about what you're doing, and you're also building a business, you're building an asset that's going to bring you cash flow in the future. And it's not always going to have to be something where I'm actively working in it either. So I just wanted to kind of drop some inspiration for you guys on that, and also provide you some knowledge about what I've been doing this afternoon and what I'm working on in the future to build stuff with. So it's really cool, it's exciting stuff, and I just wanted to get into it right now. So first thing was I was adding some UPC codes to one of my e-commerce stores today. And if you're in dropshipping, you probably know by now you need a UPC code in order to run certain types of ads online, specifically Google product listing ads. And those ads are really important to bringing targeted traffic to your website, not just traffic to get emails and stuff like that, but traffic to actually get sales and close sales right then and there. So when you have a product to sell, a lot of the time it's not your own product and you're selling someone else's product. You need a UPC code in order to sell that product. And when you have a supplier, you'll get a list of UPC codes usually, and it's a long list, and you'll have to match that up to every single SKU. That means every size or color of that product that you're selling, you have to match that UPC code up with it. Some suppliers sell more custom products. Some suppliers sell very regular products. UPC codes are something that are expensive to get usually, so it's usually hard to get those on the cheap. So unless a supplier has this one product and is selling really well over a long period of time, they may not get a UPC code, especially if it's a young company, but usually they will. And so if they will, then that's one thing you definitely want to get. So the next thing I did with my sites today was I set up a Sumo Me bar. And it was on that same e-commerce site that I was getting the codes put in for. What I wanted to do was I want to start getting email leads. One thing that Dropship Lifestyle, which is an online course that I take, teaches is to use expiring coupon codes for your e-commerce sites, and that's one way to close sales. But you don't want to just give away coupons. You want to provide value, and you want to create an inherently you want to create some sort of sense of value for that coupon that you're giving them. In other words, so basically, by asking them for something in return, you're creating more value in that customer's mind for what they're receiving. It's not just something that's free to throw away, but they actually gave you a piece of information, a piece of them, a way to contact them, in other words, for that value. So now it's a more valuable thing, about more valuable resource, and it's something that they're going to use. Now, you also want to consider that you don't want to make things too complicated for the consumer. You want to make it really simple and clear and right then and there. So the way I do this, I just started doing this today, and it actually works, so I want to break it down for you guys. Is for an e-commerce site, there's lots of different ways to go about setting your shipping rates versus like your coupon codes and stuff like that. So what I've been doing for a while is offering free shipping on everything, and then coupon codes, and it kind of just undervalues your brand and undervalues the products that you're selling and undervalues the service that you're providing. So what I decided to do besides that is actually charge for shipping. So it's kind of scary at first, but what you're going to do is you're going to charge for shipping, right? And you're going to charge one charge for regular standard shipping, and then you're going to offer like a expedited shipping for a little bit more. And you got to be careful because you don't want to actually offer like second day shipping for a little bit more. What you're doing is you're setting your standard shipping time at longer than what your normal standard shipping time is. So if it usually takes like 2 to 6 business days to get someone a product, set standard at 3 to 7, because then you're allowing an extra day to process stuff and to get things to the customer, and charge for that. And what I'm charging is $29. So it's a clear set, it's a low price, it's generally acceptable. And then what I do then is I set up a expedited shipping that's just a day faster. So if I'm charging 3 to 7 for standard, then I do 2 to 6 business days for expedited processing and shipping. And I word it like that: expedited processing and shipping. So if there's any issue with, oh, this wasn't actually second, third day, well, it doesn't say expedited shipping, it says expedited processing and shipping and ground shipping, 2 to 6 business days. So you set it up like that, and then you could even do a free shipping if a customer spends over maybe $2,000 worth of products in your store. why not give them free shipping at that point? So you kind of want to incentivize them to spend more money on your store. So you set a high level for free shipping. And then you use that. So that's kind of like your baseline, your foundation for where people see the offer as it is. And then you set up your expiring coupon code as a free shipping coupon code, right? And you ask for their email address in order to activate that code. So my top bar says something like, get free shipping, limited time only, enter your email address to activate this code. And then I actually give them the code right then and there, whether it's like ship free or free ship or whatever it is, I make it up, right? But it says activate code. So in the consumer's mind, they're thinking, oh, okay, so I gotta activate this code. I gotta press this button, put in my email address, and I'll activate the code so I can use it. So they do that, and then I have their email to follow up with, and then they have a code to use free shipping. And they'll oftentimes choose the expedited service, which is perfectly fine. They'll offer the free shipping coupon. And then if you even have more upsells, like accessories that go with the product that are right there in the product listing, extended warranties, service plans, things of that nature, you'll oftentimes get those sales as well, because that person feels that it's an easier shopping experience if they get everything in one place. They never have to go to the store that way. So you can make sales, you can greatly increase either the value the customer is receiving or your profit margin, or both, and the average revenue per order that way as well. So that worked out great, and you're getting email leads out of it, which is even better, because email leads mean that you can build a relationship with that customer. And I'll get into more email marketing in a different video, because there's a whole series of information and tips that I can go over for email marketing. But for now, we want to get those leads, we want to get those email addresses, and we want to build the value for the customer, and we want to build the revenue and profit margin for our company. So that's how we're going to do it. So that's what I worked on today, and it actually worked for one order, which was great. The next thing I worked on today was actually working through a Fiverr gig that I found to build my Shopify sites out. Now, when you're doing drop shipping, you'll find that there's a lot of monotonous work you have to do. This can include adding products. It can include building your site, actually putting everything in there, customizing the colors and the look and feel of everything, adding the logos, putting the navigation bars together, stuff like that. There's a lot of monotonous work that maybe you could be doing other stuff, like building your business, like building sales funnels for your business, like through email and stuff like that, working on advertising. Whereas you can actually outsource for a lot less money for people that work in other countries that don't need as much money to live on and will charge you less money to actually do. So that's great. So I found some gigs on Fiverr that I really like, and so far I've had a great experience with them. I'll provide links in the description so you guys can check it out and use them too, because it's a great service. And so far I'm testing out the one where you build your Shopify site. So I'll have an update for that in the next week, because it's going to take them about a week to do it. But this is a project I've been putting off for a while, and I figured, hey man, why not build a template, right, where I can outsource the building of the website to somebody else, and I can work on projects that are more important, like the projects that are making me money right now. And so I can be passively building other projects in the background, right, that will make me money in the future too. So it's a great way to expand and scale your business as a whole by opening other streams of income and other dropship stores while you're doing your main one. And I am going to probably package this template that I'm building as some sort of an information product and sell it later on for, I don't know, 100, 200 bucks or something like that, maybe 500 bucks, depending on how much more value I can offer for it. But the point is that I'm doing a lot of work. It literally took me half the day, probably 4 hours of work to get this template put together for this one person, and I'm gonna see how they do with it. Now, if there's certain things that they had trouble with, I'm gonna go back and fix that, make it easier and more simple to understand. If there's certain things that I think I can probably fix or whatever, I'll probably go back and do that too. But the point is, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a system. So I'm trying to make templates, procedures, and systemize the scaling of our business, so that we aren't just doing one store, working in our business the whole time, but we're actually working in multiple stores, and we're scaling the growth of our business, the monotonous side, so that we can work on the creativity side and the artistic side and the research side and do what we're really good at. So using other people's time to increase our business, and it provides them value because obviously we're paying them to do it. So and then I did some research after that. I researched competitors for my new dropship store. And that includes going into Google and typing in the exact products I think I want to be selling, and then seeing who else is selling them. And I'm not looking for big box stores. Big box stores is a big advantage over us, and that is that they have a physical storefront. So that means that they're able to offer more customer service in the store, but also there's something they can't offer, and that's that kind of mom and pop shop feel. It's more of a big business, so maybe sometimes customers won't have as great of an experience, as close of an experience. They'll probably never talk with the founder directly. So that's something that we as dropship store owners can do, is offer them more of a personalized experience and more of a family-like experience. So that's kind of where we're going for. But I was researching for the competitors that specifically are having the keyword of the niche in their domain name, and that kind of shows that they're a very specific site, and that it's more likely that they do drop shipping only, and that's key here. So what I usually do is I don't look for the stores like, if I'm in the home niche, I won't look for like homegoods.com, but I'm gonna look for like one specific thing in the home, like a sofa. So I would look for like sofacity.com, that kind of thing, because that means that store is based around that one product. And so they're very specific, and they have a lot of knowledge on that one product, and they're probably experts in that field. And they're the authority figures. They put themselves that way just by having that one niche website. And that's the way we're working. So when I look and do research, I look for those sites, and then I see how they work. I see all their different components that they're set up, how long they've been in business, how much they have to offer, how much video they have on their website, how many pictures, and how much customization they've done, and all that kind of stuff. And I did quite a bit of research just to kind of find out who I'm going to be up against doing this. And this niche is pretty competitive that I'm going into, so it's going to be kind of tough. And so my idea is to do more outside of Google product listing ads with this one, because there's a lot of competitors, but to do more with YouTube videos, and to do more with content marketing and email marketing for this specific niche, and maybe even social media. But I need to be bringing in more top of the funnel leads into this one, and giving them a series of emails and close them on those sales through that. So my goal is to not spend a huge amount of time and effort just building up the ads and just sitting there and waiting to see if I get sales, because there's a lot of competitors, and it's going to be a tough field. But the great thing about that is that I get to learn through this process, how to do all these top of the funnel lead things. So it's going to be a good learning experience for me, and the niche is very profitable as well. The high selling items are like between $1,000 and $5,000, and it's about a 15% margin. It's not a big margin, but it's kind of the minimum you want to work with for dropshipping. So I feel like it's an okay niche to go into, and it's also a trending niche, so it's definitely not going anywhere. The technology is evolving, so it's good. So I'm excited about that. So what I did was I went through after the research, and I updated the store checklist, store building checklist, I call it. This is just so that I can basically make copies of it for each store and kind of customize it for each one according to what needs I have for that specific site, because every niche is a little bit different. Then I created a list of requirements for me to provide the outsourced firm with, because this firm is only going to do the customizations. What I need to do is I need to get other stuff done, per se, like the logo. The logo is important to have a designer work on, a logo designer, and there's Fiverr gigs, and I have one that I like. I'll drop it in the description for you, a link, so you guys can view that. But I go and get a specific gig for the logo creation, and then I go and get a gig for the banners, which are the big homepage slider banners. And I have a really good gig for a guy that does them really professionally for that as well. So I go and get a separate person to do each of these things, and I look for the best ones in their field, because I know that they're going to cost the least amount of money and provide the most amount of value for me if I go and find that. And it's the same thinking your customers are going to have when they come to your dropship site. Hey, this person's probably the authority in this niche and whatever I'm looking for right now, whether it be sofas or garden hoses, whatever you decide to sell. So make sure that you want to put yourself in that authority field, and you want to make some professional stuff like logos, banners, content, email marketing. You want to make everything very nice and professional and a good user experience. That way you're going to build your customer base, and referrals will come in through that, and that's what you're looking for, is referrals. That's pretty much what I worked on this afternoon, guys. I'll provide links all in there in the description for you, and this is how it goes. Tonight I have a whole list of stuff going on too. Tonight I'll be working on my freelance gig, which is web design and content marketing and email marketing for a client of mine that I have, and that's part-time for me, which is really cool because I get to help him with his business in the same way that I'm building mine at the same time. And I'll also be working on my personal blog, because I'm telling my story through my blog right now, so you guys can check that out at trevorjfenner.com. It's a really great little setup there, and I provide tons of pictures and video. And my goal is to first tell my story, and then tell how I made it with online video internet marketing, and then I'm gonna tell how you can do it too. So I'll have a lot of resources and start here page and tips and stuff like that. So you guys can check that out in the coming months. And then I'm also going to be sitting down and reading some books and looking at some online courses that I've taken over time. And I'm going to make a separate video telling you all about the different online courses that I take, so that should be good, so watch out for that. And that's pretty much it for this video. I want to keep it to less than 15 minutes. Usually I try to make these, 5-6 minutes at the most, but this one went a little long because I just wanted to kind of really get deep into the details of what I've been working on lately. So hope this guy was of value. I'll provide all the tips in the description, so check that out. And subscribe to my channel, guys. We'll see you out there. Have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave it in the comments box. I love to reply to my fans and stuff like that. All right, guys, see you out there.